This is AC Starler, aka Austin. Welcome back to my channel. And this review is for Obsession, and it's about a guy named Bear and Nikki. Bear likes Nikki. Nikki is just sees him as a friend, and he makes a wish with a stick thing called the Wishing Willow. And this is directed by Curry Baker, which also made a movie called Serial Milk. It's on YouTube. Very scary, very interesting. It's about a guy, his friend that's also in the skits and also in this movie, helps on his YouTube channel as well. Main YouTube channel because he's a YouTuber that now directing this film. Cereal Milk, brief synopsis of it is the friend of Milk is doing a prank on Milk, and Milk does a prank on him, and it goes wrong, and it goes a 360 turn, just how this movie goes a 360 turn, where he likes Nikki, has a crush on her. Nikki doesn't really see him as like a person for him to fall in love with or being interested in that until he makes a wish. Because the night that they went out and some of that with the friends and another friend that's a girl and the guy that's in the skits with the director who plays a different character in this, the bear takes Nikki home, got a conversation, and she says I can talk to you about certain things, different things about things more than other people. He kind of It's kind of awkward and messes everything up when she drops him off at home, her at home, says something that the guy said you should do earlier in the beginning of the film. And then she asks him, "Do you like me?" And I'm giving you a chance to say that. And says, "Say that." And she says, "No, I only like you as a." He says, "I only like you as a friend." Until he makes a wish on the wishing willow, and then she becomes very over excessive and obsessed over everything he does, and they get to soonly, become at least a healthier beginning of this, a healthy relationship. They do everything together, hang out together and everything. And then it gets a very weird twist turn that she's possessed by something and weird things start happening after a while when they're dating. Just weird things that he noticed and everything like that. Like he had a dead cat, and that's part of one thing. Like she still felt sorry for the cat and everything. And then the dead cat keeps coming along in this story, and then they venture off to other things that she does that's weird, like at night watching him while he sleeps, and then like different things, right? But she's possessed by something else, and he calls the wishing willow thing, and then he says, the only way that can happen is one of you guys, don't live anymore. That's how they break the spell. Um, or the wish, or the way you want to put it. And he hears her screaming on the phone, but also one point in the movie where she says, well, she's saying, well, this is the real, she's basically saying, this is the real me. The other version of me is sleeping. The possessed version of me is sleeping. Please kill me. And he's like, what's so bad about being with me? And it feels throughout this movie that he creeped out by this other version of her, but he enjoys the intention at first, and then eventually gets a little bit. She does crazy things, and he's trying to understand, but he doesn't really want to let go of that. But she gets also very obsessive, like a bird party, and there's another friend that's a girl in there that likes him, and she gets jealous of her, and then it just starts getting weirder and weirder because she does weird things around the house, and his friends started noticing the girl starts noticing that, and it's just very unique. Like the jump scares in here scared me more than any other scary movie. There's a lot of different ones like Primate. There is the monkey. There is Bambi, which is also an premature, amateur, independent movie, but still not as scary. But also you have another former YouTube star that does reviews called Chris Stuckman that made his own movie called Um, Shelby Oaks, and that also scared me, but not scared me as much as this. We also have people like um, Markiplier that did his own movie that apparently Iron Lung scared some people too. I didn't see that one, but like out of Primate and Monkey and Shelby Oaks and what else? Blair Witch, Old and all that stuff like that. This was the most scariest one, even though all those are great. Um, all those are great. And here's the thing. This one legitimately scared me because it shows a organic relationship. It tries to show you an organic relationship could go wrong where one person is very over protective, over obsessive of what everything that this person does, and then it turns into a twist and wrong turn, and it just gets weird because that can happen in real life too. I mean, not oftenly, but that can happen in real life too, where someone can be all about this person, and the other person's like, okay, well, yeah, I have this person in my life, but the other person is more attentive of every person, other person's needs and wants, and tries to prove that or try to make that happen. And this is what happens in this film, but on a horror aspect basis, and it's kind of scary. And it for Nikki and Bear, it's like Nikki just wants to be released from her body. The real Nikki wants to be released from the temporary her body that's in there, and she's trapped, and Bear doesn't want to let her out because Bear doesn't think he's going to find someone else better than this person. But then there's someone that actually does like her and like him in real life, and he doesn't want that person, but that person wants him, and that makes her jealous. And underneath the wishing willow, and then she makes a wish that he would love her in the same way, but then it's already too late. Something happens. I'm not going to spoil it. Something happens, and then she finally wakes up and she becomes her real self, and she's shocked by everything. So this interesting movie, and this director, Curry Baker, makes it very interesting because the serial milk milling movie that he has on YouTube is also frightening too, but also he has some comedy points in him because he's also does some comedy. He also does some comedy on his skits. So if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and deuces. It's a really good film. Check this out. I am going to go still see the back rooms, but back rooms probably not as scary as this one. I'm gonna be honest. And the passenger I'm not gonna see because passenger is a urban legend. Everyone knows about that one. And if you know about it, there's a passenger that goes in there and tries to kill you, blah blah blah. Yeah, you know.